This is my final project on community policing. What is community policing? There is no real one definition that fits all. Community policing is a system of policing that engages the police and the community to work together in making it a safer place to live and work. This involves coming together to identify the problems and solutions that are unique to each specific community. It involves a different philosophy that must be encompassed by all levels of law enforcement as well as the community at large. The history of community policing. Mid-1800s to the 1920s, police were representatives of local politicians in the neighborhoods that they patrolled. They were appointed, picked off the street, if you will. Their missions were what the local politicians wanted, not what the community wanted, and they kept the neighborhood safe by knowing who belonged there and who didn't. However, corruption also played a role as you went into the 1970s, where the politics-based system was rejected for a system of legitimacy. This led to the Civil Service Commission being implemented. Police became law enforcement officers and were no longer a bobblehead of working politicians. They were trained, tested, and put through the academies. Officers were taken off foot patrol and put into cars as the car radio was developed. In the late 70s through the 80s, community policing is really when it came to fruition. It wasn't specifically designed with policies as it varied based on individual police departments. So what was good for one neighborhood police department wasn't necessarily good for the other. Origins are the same in any department, as they all are determined to reduce crime, fear, and disorder, and ensure that community members feel safe in giving their feedback to the police and feel safe in their community in general. From foot patrol to patrol car policing and back, this is a small timeline of what has worked and what hasn't. Community policing went from politicians having their say to the community at large kind of taking back and putting officers in patrol cars and then policing from those cars. Many departments thought that was more effective, and as it continued, they saw that it wasn't effective. And with any changing needs in society over the years, more criminal activity with gangs and an increased drug activity, police were having to change their efforts for more effective policing. Community policing has increased due to those aspects. Police tactics have become ineffective. Budgeting constraints as well as increased crime have called for a change. So back to community policing we've gone. Being proactive essentially reduces crime by taking part in the community and knowing who is supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there. Police build relationships with their community, ensuing trust and obtaining information, allowing the department to reduce crime. Being proactive in building programs to help those in the community and to have an overall safe and happy environment. The department needs to build a community partnership and be able to solve problems with the community's help. Law enforcement members need to change their way of thinking as well as their tactics in solving community members' issues. The delivery methods need to change. Police officers need to wear many hats and be able to solve many problems effectively. Does it reduce crime? Yes and no. Nothing works in a community without the whole being involved. When police in the community work, their community policing philosophy works, and when one part of the wheel isn't there, the philosophy doesn't work. It takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to bring a community together and make it run effectively. Community policing over the years has been working. As job security, the economy, and crime reduction has occurred, the populations have increased in a need to know and work with their local police. The police need to keep things safe by knowing who should and should not be there. They walk the beat and speak with local businesses, community members, and other groups. They develop needs for their community to make it better. In 1990, the homicide rate in New York City was 2,200 people. That was reduced in 1996 to 983. Again, community policing working. What is needed to reduce crime? It's going to take officers with common sense, training, and skills to interact with everyone in the community, not just criminals. They gain valuable intelligence, trust, and a sense of self-pride in serving their community's needs. What departments need to do in order to effectively incorporate community policing style is to know their community, look at what they need, speak to them, develop programs about the community's needs, not the department's needs. It's about knowing what tactics and needs are going to be met. Community policing essentials is a philosophy, a mindset with goals, and most importantly, how to incorporate the entire community to change and embrace it. Three important aspects are organizational transformation. Organizational transformation comes from police policies, a change in their structure, how the organization operates, and personnel practices. In Dallas in 1971, in response to identifying their community needs, they found an increased minority population. In response, Dallas hired more minority police officers and placed them into those communities. It worked. However, in Newark in 1991, police saw that more informal contact made an impact in their community. It brought more confidence, which led to more information sharing. However, it did not continue because the community as a whole did not embrace the philosophy. Throughout the years, many studies have been done, and in large cities mainly. These studies have resulted that even with a higher police presence, crime isn't necessarily on a decline. Community partnerships is another essential aspect of community policing, as they are critical and probably the most important aspect of any program. Programs with strong community ties who tackle the public issues have a better chance of success. They find ways to effectively tackle the problems in a priority fashion for the community. These efforts are from community members, social service providers, schools, faith-based organizations, as well as colleges and local businesses. It also includes everyone in the command section of the police, not just the beat guys. A fun fact, Naperville, Illinois built a development center in one project as a result of high gang and burglary rates in this city. This developed into a center in which both sides came together to take back their community. It improved their relationships and became kind of a mini police station where people could come pay bills, air their concerns, file reports. The police came to them instead of them going to the police. So it worked well. Problem solving is the third essential aspect in community policing, in being able to identify the problems within the community and the social problems that come along with criminal activity. Partnership and community ties become effective and essential. Police departments have community policing philosophies are seeing a marked improvement over those who are just protecting law and order. Problem solving has to come from both sides, not just law enforcement and not just the community. The community is going to have to reinforce the rules of a particular community to find effective ways and programs to help those most in need and identify correct issues plaguing that specific community. Thank you.